In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. This is like a test video for my Instagram. I've never used Instagram, so I decided to try it out to see what happens. I noticed my little brother Josiah, I think that's how you pronounce the name. He's waving at me. Let me see what this is about. I can wave back. Okay. How you doing there, little brother? Send a shout out to your mother for me, Sister Tangi. I thank you so much for being here this morning. I just want to spend a few minutes to talk about this baby formula shortage thing that's in the news. Baby formula, Enfamil, Similac, that type of thing. Women all over this country, families, are experiencing a baby formula shortage. I think your little sister, Josiah, I think she's a big girl now. She doesn't need any baby formula. So you guys don't have to worry about that. But for many families in this country, regardless of your race, are experiencing this the detriment of not having enough food for your infant. I just want to make a couple of points and we're going to get out of here. Again, thank you, my little brother, for joining us this morning. I'm experimenting with my Instagram account. I want to just see how this might work. So shout out to Instagram, shout out to Facebook, and of course shout out to those who follow this ministry on YouTube. I just want to make some brief points and we're going to get out of here. I hope that you rock with me a little bit, little brother. Here we go. Now, I was taught that, hey, how you doing there? They love dying. Let me give him a shout, a wave back. Now, look. I just want to say this very quickly. I was taught back in the day, and many of us are still taught, that we should store canned food, water, have extra clothes, money in the bank. We should be able to, if it's possible, do your best to have enough water, store water, and food and other things that we need. Store some of these things away, and money, so that we can we can survive a little bit comfortable for at least 3 months. That's what we should do. So had these parents with these babies, if it was possible, if they could have, before the recall, because I think this is what caused the baby formula shortage, had they done this, then they wouldn't be so desperate, because they would have 3 months or at least a month of baby formula for their child. But see, with us, we take things for granted. We think that when we go to the sink, Water always going to be there. We always think the grocery store always going to be there. We take things for granted. And then when we don't have those things, there's a big problem. Then we start suffering. Then we have to go through changes we probably wouldn't have to go through so fast because we tried to take care of ourselves like the ants and squirrels. Squirrels store nuts for the wintertime because there are no nuts. There's little food during the wintertime. So does the ant. The ants store food for hard times. For hard times. Your electricity could go out. Do you have candles? Do you have kerosene lamps? How are you going to see at night if you don't have electricity? Do you have flashlights? This is how we have to think. And so now, since we don't think that way, many parents don't think that way. Now, many families are in bad shape trying to find baby formula for their child. Now, what gets me is this. Why do an infant need baby formula? Well, they say that this is because a lot of children, a lot of babies are allergic to their mother's breast milk. They are allergic to breast milk. This should make you want to say, what's up with that? What you mean? There's a big problem when a human being or any animal is allergic to the food that you need in order to survive. Do baby goats drink Similac, Enfamil? Do baby cows, puppies, sheep, coyotes? Is there any baby formula for them because they are allergic to their mother's milk? No human being should be allergic to the milk that comes from your mother's breast. That should be a problem. Your baby mother is dependent upon some chemicals somebody put together in a factory on a store shelf. That should be a big problem for us. We should not want this. Something is wrong when a baby is allergic and cannot drink the milk from a human being. It has to come from out of a can. Some powder that you add water to that some kind of scientist mixed up. You have to look at this. It's more than just food. It's more than just nutrition for the baby, for the child. It is physical. And when we talk about being physical, we have to look at this also. It is impossible for something in a can created by the limited mind of men to contain all the nutrients, all the things that a child needs in order to develop properly. And if what this child is getting in a can, since it is limited, this means the human being that is getting his or her start in life from out of a can, this means that the brain, the human being, is not being formed properly. it's a problem because you're not getting. It's like if you're putting a car together and some parts of the car is not missing. It looks like a car, it can run like a car or whatever, but it's not actually functioning like a car because it was not put together properly. It's going to have problems. So if the human being, if the infant, this baby, is being put together, starting life off with infant milk, these chemicals that some men put in a can, you add water to, that means there's going to be limitations and deformities in the human being. That's common sense. They act like a human being, may talk like a human being, but something got to be missing because this child is not getting the proper nourishment that he or she needs because they're not getting it from their mother. These scientists do not know everything about the milk and the properties in human milk. They try to make an imitation, and the imitation is limited. So we've gotten to the point where babies, the human being, you can't drink milk from your mother. That's you don't see a problem with that? Something is wrong. Also, when you put that baby on the mother's breast, there's comfort. There's a mental feeding that's also going on. There's a love. There's an emotional connection between that baby. The baby comes from up out of the womb to the mother's breast. There's a connection. There's an emotional connection. And we wonder why many of us as human beings, why some of us, we don't like women. We have a problem with womanhood because we have been taken from the mother's breast and given a can, a plastic bottle, and some chemicals. So the baby is more connected to plastic and these unnatural chemicals than mother. The mother is basically a friend. I like you because you can give me my plastic, these chemicals in a bottle. It's not the true connection a child should have to their mother. And in this nation around the earth, we see that we have a problem with mother, that women have problems all over this earth. And it's easy to do because we are raised without that connection to mother. So we have an unnatural human being formed. That should be a problem to us. Man, you talking crazy. Everybody, no, you're not thinking. Because breast milk or milk for the baby is a building block. And when you give your baby infant milk and these formulas, these chemicals don't provide the building block that you need in order to be a proper, full functioning human being. Again, you can look human, you can talk human, and you can act human, but something is missing. So it should be no shock to none of us. Abnormal behavior. It should be no shock to us. Increasing suicides. Increasing gay and homosexual behavior, pedophilia. I'm a transgender, I'm a bisexual because I can guarantee you, when you look at the root, many of these people were molested, they were abused in their childhood, but also they were raised on Similac, an infant. And one of the first and the most important part of your body to develop for you is your brain. It is impossible for something in a can developed by men who are limited in their knowledge, put in a can something that would develop a human being where we can function as a full functioning human being. So again, it's no shock to me that mental illness is at an all-time high, and suicides. People are confused about their gender. What am I? Am I male? Am I female? I'm a transgender. I want to treat children like I want to have a relationship with children the same way I would with an adult. It could be possible. I'm just putting it's a theory. And it's a good theory. It's a logical theory that this process already began from the very beginning because of improper development in the human brain. Drinking infant milk and Similac, these baby formulas. We should wonder, we should not want human beings. And why are human beings being born allergic? I get sick drinking my mama's milk. What kind of stuff is that? There was no Similac millions of years ago, thousands of years ago. Now all of a sudden, human beings can't drink their own mama's milk? It's a serious problem going on, brothers and sisters and people in the world. It's a problem. You need to think about this. And you should not want this to continue. We, as men, the males should not want women to be put in a position that they bring into existence babies that's allergic and cannot drink milk from a human being. It's got to come out of a can. Are you serious? I am so happy that I was breastfed, and so many of us was breastfed. But common sense and logic tells us that Similac and these baby formulas are not proper food for human beings. And we should not be shocked that we live in this world with some crazy, crazy people, and it begins in the crib. And you wonder why we're doing so terribly. I'm allergic to my mama's milk. I'm allergic to human beings, period. So why wouldn't I have a problem with slicing your throat, molesting you? Because you're not in your right state of mind. You have not developed properly. I just wanted to bring this to our attention because we're looking at this like it's natural. It is not natural to give a child some crap that come out of a can on a Walmart shelf. That's not natural. You should want to stop this. Just because some folks can make millions and millions of dollars. But look at the human beings that we're producing. You can laugh and make mockery and say that it's nonsense. But clearly it's a reality. Let's talk about it. Jot down your comments. Thank you, Instagram, for joining me. I just wanted to try this out. We're going to come back later and talk a little bit more on another subject. And until next time, as our ancestor Dr. Ellis used to always say in parting, I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we are Audi 5000.